can always edit out stuff if it's all crazy or whatever.
All right, cool.
All right, what's up? What's up?
What's going on with you?
Got my boy TINO in the house. TINO is an up and coming rapper.
It's a long time up and coming. 10 years.
Yeah, right.
10 years up and coming.
All right, this is for 91.3, my boy 3J the DJ. It's the first episode of Local Love, and it's also going to be on the Lando Funk. That's of me, the CJX. So we're gonna play this on YouTube and wherever else we can get it, okay? But up and coming, that's kind of like how things go these days. It's like, because everyone's doing it themselves on YouTube and SoundCloud, and it takes a minute.
I always think of up and coming as like, well, I mean, I feel like maybe still on the way up is more up and coming. I think of as like new artists, guys who've been maybe a 2-year, 3-year type guy. I've been around for so long now. To me, it seems like forever, and at the same time, it doesn't seem like that long at all.
Right.
It's like now my name carries a little bit of weight around
the
area, so that's really cool to see. Like I had the Huber Heights park manager call me the other day on my phone and was like, "Hey, we want to get you out here to do our summer series." And
okay.
I was like, "Oh, really?" I was like, "How do you?"
Right.
One of those things. It's like,
right.
How do people find out about you? But 10 years, man. 10 years of putting in some solid effort. So
it's a natural progression.
Indeed.
You know, any people we hear in the national scene, you know, we don't know how long it took them before they just blew up, and we hearing all day, and we're like, oh man, this one hit wonder, this blew up, but we have no idea what they was doing. You know. They could have started when they was 10 or something. We have no idea. So, but it's good to see that you're getting some recognition now. You got you, Soul Act, and you got you with the crew.
Correct. Safe Money.
Yeah, Safe Money. That's a good one. People are really liking that one as well.
Yeah.
And looking forward to that project. But you got your project out now.
Correct.
What's the name of your project?
Never Worry About Tomorrow.
And why do you call it that?
It's called Never Worry About Tomorrow because, first of all, my girlfriend kind of hates it because I never seem to put much thought into tomorrow. Like, I'm really focused on today, more so than anything. But also at the same time, like, I feel like during the pandemic, I was so focused on, well, I can't play shows or anything like that. Mm-hmm. So I was planning for a lot of things that I thought, okay, maybe this thing was like going to be 6 months or 6 weeks at first, and then I was like, oh, maybe this will be 6 months, and we're still in the who knows where we're at in the pandemic now.
Yeah.
But I was so focused on like I had all these plans and all these ideas that I thought were going to come to fruition. I set on a lot of music at the time that I was making, and I was like, why am I worried about tomorrow? It's like all I got is really right now. So, I mean, my dad passed away at 49 years old because of heart complications. And it's like, you don't know when your time is going to be called, so you might as well do what you can today.
Yeah, I'm definitely sorry about your dad. I heard it in the one song. What was the name of the song?
Sad song, actually.
Sad song, yeah. Yeah, I mean, but you have songs that reflect real life. You have songs that, you know, people can relate to. Mm-hmm. You know, because everyone can relate to a parent passing away. And you know, unfortunately, we're supposed to outlive our parents, right?
Correct.
Right. So the 49, that's. Yeah.
You didn't even make it to 50, man.
Man. I always hear about that because that's my age. We won't say the age, but yeah, I've been in the hip hop game for a while because, you know, I was DJ on 91.3 when I was 15 back in the day. Yeah, we was the first ones having a hip hop show back in the day. So we was playing LL Cool J, Kumo D. So.
That's what I came up on. Riding around with my uncle. He would love DMC and LL Cool J was his jams, and I used to like. I used to think I knew the words to the songs, but but people were like, "Hey, tell me that LL song," and I'm like, "Okay, forget Oreos, eat Cool J cookies." But I used to say, "My Oreos eat cookies too. I'm bad," and that was not the line at all. But they knew I didn't know the line, but they would ask me to say it because they thought they would get a kick out of it.
Oh man, they was having you say boo boo rhymes.
3-year-old, just like. But I feel like You mean if your cookies are so bad that they eat other cookies?
Yeah.
You bad too. So maybe that was my first rhymes I was cooking up. Maybe yeah.
So like I know like Black Thought said he grew up right with hip hop when it started. So basically you was with hip hop right from the beginning.
Indeed, I was born in '86. So like, as hip hop became like a mainstream, what they thought was going to be a fad, and it became a mainstream trend, I was like right there because my uncle, and he just always he was my mom's younger brother. So he was when I was born, he was in high school and he was just about to go to college. So like, A Different World didn't seem like that strange to me because like he almost lived that life as an alpha and and stepping and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
So I just saw that stuff firsthand, as well as through the TV lens. As everybody else, as America got an obsession with that culture, I was also partaking in that culture.
There you go. And like you even knew that was hip to the time when the 80s it was still used as a fad, you know?
Yeah.
We had the Rapping Duke and, you know, the Hall, and all this crazy stuff that they had back then. So 90s really showcase what it could be.
Yeah.
You know, the classic era, the golden age, golden era, whatever you want to call it. I mean, there was so much good stuff that came out during that time.
Correct.
I know they had a lot of sampling, which made it really exciting. I mean, there was some controversy with it, but it was exciting at the same time because it was bringing back those old school tunes and stuff. So I know you worked with your producer, pretty much original stuff, right?
Yeah, Nick, he does a lot of stuff from Splice. So like there'll be samples that you are allowed to use through purchase. So they're not any big records or anything like that. There'll be like some engineer or some musician is creating these at his own house, and uploading them and letting you flip and chop however. So it's like giving people who love the sample feel a way to still tap into that bag, but it doesn't create that same sense of nostalgia that it might have like if you chopped up an Isley record or something like that.
I know because samples do cost a lot now.
Oh yeah, people won't pay. They won't pay, and there's nothing wrong with wanting paid, especially with as little money as there's a lot of money in the music business, but as little money as there is out here in the streaming game and stuff like that, you would definitely want to make sure you get your little piece of the of the pie.
Definitely. And you're all independent, right? You're just doing it all yourself out your own pocket for working in 95.
Yep.
Right. I mean, that's how you got to do it.
A lot of times, luckily, I'm at the point where it kind of funds itself. If I put a record out, I don't really lose any money on putting a record out anymore. Like, as long as I can, like, get in front of some people and even I found out even being at home, I didn't even have to really be in front of people. I just had to be able to like pivot and try and do some more visual stuff. That gave me a chance to do more music videos and stuff.
There you go.
And that let me know, okay, I got a bigger fan base than I thought I had.
Exactly.
And they were actually supporting and buying product and stuff.
I know some of the local rappers around here, your local competition. I know they have said they're earning streams with like the videos and stuff like that. Are you earning the stream money? And
I'm not really like the stream stuff. Like I get maybe enough to like compensate the fact that you have to pay for it to be on there for you.
Breaking even.
So I don't even think about it because it's like if you upload a project, it's $50, and then over a course of a year, that project will pay for the $50 that it costs to re-up it next year. So it's not really streaming has never really factored into what it is that I do. I'm going to try and focus more on getting people to start paying more attention to streams, but I do a lot of direct-to-fan stuff. I like Bandcamp better than say the streams because if I think it's like 1 million. If I got 1 million streams on a song, it still is not equivalent to me selling $500 worth of records.
Wow, that's something.
It's not like if I sell my own product to people, and it's the same digital copies or whatever, and if I sell 50 people $10, they pay for it. Like every 15,000 streams is equivalent to one album sale or something like that. So it's not the same. Like you might make $10 off 15,000 streams, and it's
gotcha.
I don't need to do the streaming numbers. I could get if you do 500,000, if you do 500 million streams, then that's make sure you focus on streaming. But that's never been my thing. I came up before streaming was a thing. Like Guys were still jacking from Napster. We was going DAT Piff.
Oh, you remember that? You remember that? Okay. All right. So out of the ones you like the Bandcamp the most?
I like Bandcamp the most because it gives me an opportunity to like. Even I put a lot of my stuff up. The first project, when a project is the first, when it's the most newest release, I make sure that it's available and name your price. So the fans don't even, if you don't have $1 to your name, you can still get TINO's project. You just got to enter your email, and that allows me to stay in contact with you via a newsletter or something like that, a mail, email communication back and forth with you, instead of just go to Spotify, never have any kind of contact with me or anything like that. I always put my album out a month or two before I would release it on a streaming platform. Because Never Worried About Tomorrow is still not even on streaming yet.
Just your single, basically.
100
Nights?
100 Nights is on YouTube, but it's not actually on any it's not on Spotify or Apple Music or anything like that.
But did I notice this song, The Sweet Nothings, was on
Sweet Nothing is on Audio Mac. I like Audio Mac because it's more organic with the listening base. Or Audio Mac is like what SoundCloud used to be, where people were able to discover music on their own. And they have like these nice playlists that are not dominated by corporations.
SoundCloud is still pretty good. Like that.
SoundCloud, like I put a song on SoundCloud, it did like 7. Like I put that same song on there. Yeah. I put that on Audio Mac, and real listeners, it did over 4,000 plays.
Nice.
It got included in the trending charts.
Okay.
Because I'm a verified artist, because I was like an early adopter of Audio Mac, because Audio Mac was also put together by the people who did DJ Booth.
Nice.
And so I've had a relationship with them for a little bit.
Okay.
And I put that same song on SoundCloud, 7.
Really?
7.
I was part of one of the 7.
SoundCloud is dead. I think SoundCloud is dead.
I was one of the I like SoundCloud, but hey.
Look, I like SoundCloud too. SoundCloud, coming up, SoundCloud helped me get a lot of people from all over the place. It hooked me up with my guy Sam Rothstein, who's out of Columbus.
Okay.
He was living in Newark, Ohio, and I wouldn't have known that relationship would not have been possible. And he's booked me at shows in Cincinnati,
Is that how you got
Columbus, and stuff like that. No, I got with Blueprint through Philly Phil. My guy Philly Phil.
Philly Phil. Legendary Philly Phil.
Philly Phil, the legend, the OG.
Yes.
He booked me for a show opening for Blueprint. And that's how I got this. That's how I met Blueprint, because Blueprint, he didn't want me, Blueprint don't like to go on stage real late. It's just and that makes sense. I've started to not like to go on stage at 1:30 as the lights are about to come onto the bar.
Right.
But he wanted to be up at 12 o'clock, but there was Philly Phil, love him. Sometimes he books way too many openers. And there was just too many guys, and Print wanted to do his thing, and Philly had to convince him. He was like, hey man, this kid is responsible for like half the people in the building. Just let him rock. Let him rock right now. And he was like, all right. And he had his hands folded, his arms folded over on the side of the stage. And he was like, this better be good. And I was like, man, I got this guy who and little did you know, a year beforehand, he had gave me the inspiration to really start to try and pursue the music thing, because I saw him play and I talked to him afterwards, and he had his F a job shirts, and I was like, how did you get to that point where he was just like, F a job, let me pursue this, and he was such an inspiration to me. So to open for him a year later, to go from not playing shows to opening for him for a year later was like a big thing for me, and I was like trying my best, and as I went on and as the set progressed, he started to bob his head, he uncrossed his arm, and after I got off stage, he had some kind words for me, and from then on, whenever he played a show in here, he would request that I be a part of the bill. So we became friends over that in the course of those.
So that was your
years.
First
That's
meeting.
2012. That's since 2012.
Big time Blueprint. That's how he got to meet her. He had to show and prove and press on stage, spotlight on you. Hey. Nice.
And that guy's seen a lot of hip hop, man. He's seen a lot of hip hop.
Yeah, he's been around for 20 years, maybe?
20 years plus.
Yeah,
20 plus.
His first hits was way back, 2000, 2001, something like that. He's one of the illest, man. I love Blueprint. So that's what's up, man. And I like that song, the single. That's gonna be one of your singles. Right.
Yep. For every action is a reaction. Yep.
That's a good song too, man. YSO's been playing it.
He cooked that. He produced that too. That's his production.
That's his production.
Yeah. He told me I love what you're doing, but I want you to go back to some of the stuff that I remember you rapping over. So he had some beats that he wanted me to listen to specifically, and I fell in love with that one. And he also did the the more time beat as well.
Okay. I mean, that's good advice for anyone listening to this, about which platforms to use and how to get yourself out there and stuff. So that's good. I mean, just do what works for you. Like everything, like Audio Max works for me because I've had a relationship with them for a while. Yeah. I think that's one of the things that people, I think they neglect is like sometimes, like even with fans, like their original fans, sometimes people get older and some things about their lives change. But making sure that you keep that original core fan base excited and energized is a part of the longevity I've been able to experience. Because I've been through, I want to say, in the course of 10 years, at least 4 or 5 different fan bases. Nice. But there's people who retain, who've been through every era, and those people are the people that you definitely want to make sure that you don't shun them or do something that would be against. Like you all, as artists, you still want to grow, right? But you also don't want to alienate the people that got you to the point that you progress with your fans.
Yeah, and also with the relationships that you have. Philly Phil is still my guy. Right. Blueprint still my guy. Like these are people that I met back in 2011, 2012, 2010 that are still people that I build with on a regular basis. Philly Phil, if I need CDs printed up, he got me.
Philly Phil's, he's the man to network with.
Yeah, period. To network with. Like, and Print, he had me come out to Columbus, he's like been one of those guys that I feel like I don't have a lot of mentors, and he is like the guy who's been a real guiding light for me.
I see that in that relationship.
And then like DJ Booth, like I kept that relationship going, and then like when they started doing Audio Mac, they was like, hey, don't release your stuff through SoundCloud anymore. Here's a platform that we're putting out. And that was back in 2015. And now Audio Mac is booming. Like it's one of the biggest streaming sites in Africa right now. It's Audio Mac, yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, and I just heard like there was more investment in Africa lately in the music scene. So maybe that's where that's coming from and everything.
They have been a big proponent in that and like helping people, helping them get their own sound like that, like nice. get it out to the world and whatnot.
That's good. Yeah, I like some African bop. And I do, what I like about you is what you've covered a lot is that you are personal with your fans, that you do connect with them, and that, when I talk to people about local hip hop, they're like, oh man, yeah, TINO is great, man, we love TINO. And this is from young millennials up to people my age and stuff, you know what I'm saying? They got a lot of respect for you and respect to what you're doing. And it's crazy, like, you weren't even here like 10 years ago, right? When did you first even get to Dayton?
I came down to Dayton back in, it would have been 2004. I came to go to Wright State University.
Wright State here too. I was 106.9.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I would go down there and chop it up with my man DJ Quest, was a DJ down there, and then also, I'm forgetting his name now, but he did it like Ohio is on Fire, was his radio show. Okay. And so I came down to go to Wright State, and then I end up not graduating 3 times.
Me too.
But in that course of time, like I learned what it is that I wanted to do because something about school just never sat right with me. Like I'm not gonna say I'm like one of the most intellectual people, but like it just seemed like it was boring and it just didn't grab me. Man. And I was lost for a lot of times. Like in my late teenage years and early 20s, I was lost. And it wasn't until I found hip hop that I really found what it is I felt like I was here to do and provide a message through that music type stuff.
So I kind of assumed you was on the hip hop scene back in Cleveland. So
no. I was a church kid. Like my dad was a reverend, right? I heard that. And my grandfather was a reverend, and like
I know you met your sister, your uncle.
You didn't do secular music.
Yeah. He was doing the gospel, man.
Yeah, you got to do the gospel. Okay. Which is funny because I never even participated really. I made a kids choir when I was younger. But
preacher's son. That's what I was thinking. I imagine that there's this church downtown Dayton. It has a huge organ. I mean, it has like the pipes that go up through the ceiling and stuff. I can just see you just rapping that song in front of that. And I think there's like this another guy from Wright State that actually was big time in playing the organs and stuff.
Oh wow.
You guys gonna need to link up. There we go. We'll put the feeler out right now. I can't remember. He was from Middletown. They plucked him up to Wright State, and he like just basically blew up the whole program.
Wow.
he can remix that song and just blow it up.
You know, it's funny. My uncle Timothy is like one of the foremost known organists in Cleveland, Ohio, amongst the church scene. Like, yeah, he wouldn't play at my grandfather's church because he could get paid to go play other places, and my grandfather was never gonna play no musician, especially not his own child, to play for the glory of the Lord.
I know a brother now. He plays the clarinet, and he's like, oh, I go to a whole bunch of church services, but I get paid. I get paid. So that's how you got to do it. So this is a great project. What else? Other songs are you be releasing off of it?
We will. I'm eventually shoot those Sweet Nothings music video.
That's for the ladies.
That one, Sweet Nothing is really not for the ladies. Like it's really like a heartbreak song if you listen to it, because it's like everything it's good in the beginning, and you try to keep this like. The first verse is me talking about how you try to keep that intriguing in the beginning, and then at the end, P the MC, shout out to my man P, he is talking about how things go sour, and it's no longer any fun to even be around that person anymore. So that's why you become sweet nothing. So like you're nothing to each other.
Right in time for Valentine's Day. Right in time for Valentine's Day.
I had intended on dropping a music video at that point, but I just can't get Kelly Hannes and PDMC together.
He's always guest people on it. Okay, yeah.
And that's how it is.
Yeah. A little neo-soulish type vibe to
Kelly
it.
can definitely sing.
Yeah.
Kelly sings. My man Nick also produced that.
Okay.
He killed that. We were in the studio. I think I was just there to do. I wanted Kelly to come in and do some backing vocals over More Time. And P was in town, because sometimes P's in LA, sometimes he's here, sometimes he's in Cincinnati, sometimes he's in Florida.
All over the place. So that's how it
goes. He was in town. He was I just seen him the night before. I was like, hey, I have a studio session. Come through. He came through. Since he was there, Nick came through. Nick cooked something up on the spot, and we made that record. And I was like, oh, this has to go on the album, because we did that evening. Yeah.
How'd you meet this Nick guy?
Nick is actually a friend. He was neighbors to my guy Mike Flo. Mike Flo's an MC. He's actually out of Sacramento now. He was in Dayton for a little bit.
Okay.
He moves around. He's actually from Houston, Texas, but he's a doctor. He's a legitimate MD. And
okay.
He came in town, and he was like, I've been looking into the scene, kind of like you said, and people have pointed me in your direction.
Okay.
And so he's like, I just wanted to see what everybody was excited about.
Okay.
He was a real good, cool dude, genuine guy. And his neighbor, at the time Nick was 18.
Oh, wow.
18-year-old neighbor was cooking up like these trap beats. Like he was a big fan of like Slim Jesus.
Oh, wow.
Like real kind of, I don't want to call it ratchet.
That doesn't sound like this record.
Listen, he got Mike convinced him to start sampling more.
Okay.
And to start doing, because Mike is more of a traditionalist. Me and Mike are around the same age. I feel like maybe he might be a year or two older than me myself. But he introduced Nick to the world of like boom bap and stuff like that. So like, he liked some of Nick's stuff, and he wanted Nick to try and do some other things. So like Nick got this like crash course in like hip hop and like, and now Nick is just like superb. He can do it all. He can do it all. If you want something super trappy, he can do it.
So he can kind of meld that up in there
if
too.
If you want something soulful, if you want something with like
you put that bounce to it.
808s, he's a genius as far as that goes. And so that's how I met him. Mike introduced me to him. I actually met him at a session. I had to do a feature for Mike, and he was there because he had done the production. So that's when me and Nick met, and he started like sending me a little something here and there.
He just nailed it from there, huh?
We just been inseparable.
Because it does, the whole album just flows. Yeah, it's a nice feel to it. I mean, listen to your older work and everything, but this one's got a cohesiveness to it.
Yeah,
it's just
it definitely is my most cohesive from start to finish. It's not like a real, like I love the pacing on it, the sequence. I think we nailed the sequence on it. It tells a story without like having to be a concept album.
And you're like Heavy D, no curse. I mean, because that from being the preacher's son, is that from there or what?
That is from being, I want my mom to be able to listen to the record and not have.
Oh, skip that one.
Yeah.
No, not that one.
True, but also it stems a lot from back when my uncle, when I'm riding around with my uncle as a kid, he didn't have to worry about if he had to take the LL out, if he had to take the Run DMC out because I was in the back,
right?
Like, it was something we all could enjoy, and I just wanted to keep that element in there. And I feel like sometimes, for me, it's not hard, and I feel like people realize later on there's no cussing in this. Like, it's one of those things where it's like for a lot of people, it's a hard thing to do to maintain that balance. Clean without it being cornball. So, that's what I do pride myself on being able to
nothing's corny on it. Yeah, I didn't hear anything corny. And I know some people that they was playing a bunch of NWA and stuff, and their kids was in the back seat. They were like,
I mean,
Daddy, what's such and such? Like,
you might have to do some premature explaining of things.
Right,
you
like
really want to get into. So.
Right. So
and if I do put anything in there, I code it. So like, I know it's a song that has a lot of innuendo in it. But if you play it around a child, they're not really going to pick up on any of that stuff.
And that's, my generation, Generation X, a whole bunch of the old school cats was doing it all day long. Isley Brothers and them, it was a lot of the R&B, and then,
Yeah, I love that about that. Like, it's like between the sheets, like, it's like, okay, ooh, baby.
Right.
like, you know what they talking about.
Sometimes it can be today's age old, and it's like, they were saying, what in that song?
Oh, I had no idea.
Right. The In My House, the Rick James girls, that's the one that got me for the longest. I was like, oh, wait a minute, In My House? like, I was singing that when I was a kid. I was like, what is happening here? And like, all the early rap, and when we was doing that show back in the day, we could just slap it on. I mean, we was playing some Schoolie D. I mean, the show was called Saturday Night. But, we had to, we started having to go through the albums like, oh, wait a minute, this song, don't skip that song, It'd be hit or miss, and then over time, it just started being more and more and more.
But I feel like also, without knowing it, I made myself a lot more marketable.
Yeah, you did.
In the same way, because, like, I got the premier health, like, the guy who did it at Real Art, he's like, hey, I want you to put some music in behind this Premier Health commercial. So I got to do that, and it was just some lyrics from the Ohio song.
Right.
And like the guy who asked me about the Park show, he's like, I know, I've listened to your music. I know that this is something we can play in front of a broad audience.
Right.
You don't have to worry about if we can bring the kids to the park.
There you go.
Like, and that appeal is also open doors, and I feel like a lot of artists don't have open to them when they bog them down a lot of what they do with profanity and stuff. Like, not to say I don't like it, because man, it's Too Short. I listen to me some Too Short all day. But at the same time, I would never be Too Short. That's never life.
Right, Too Short. When I was playing the radio, they'd be like, "Play Too Short." I'd be like, let me see. I've been having to go through his catalog. Oh my goodness! Like they never had clean versions. Hardly ever had clean versions on Too Short. Good gracious. Okay. What other singles is off of this? I knew you told me a few more.
I'll do Sad Song for sure.
Sad Song.
Another one. I wish I could do On Mama. That's got Tredno on it from Columbus, Ohio.
Gotcha.
That one to me is a bigger of notes record on there. Possibly we may do I Know, because I like the way I Know feels. Okay. That one would be for the ladies, of course. No Sinatra will actually be one.
No Sinatra. That's the one I was hoping you was going to say, because that's been my favorite so far. I've been like, I'm going to play that one again. So that's been the one that's on repeat. I can see the video for it. Yes, you got to put that one out. I know the DJ on 91.3, he's been playing like sampling songs like every day. And I already heard the song Blueprint, then I heard the Sinatra. I mean, he's been like, let me see what I play from TINO today. And then he plays some other local acts. I do like that our local NPR station will play a lot of the local acts.
Because it's like where also you get the chance to be exposed to people in your area besides if you get help from your local channel. So I appreciate WYSO for doing that.
Definitely.
And looking out for not just myself, but like the greater Dayton area. Anybody who's trying to put in any kind of work.
Definitely. And who else are you? I named Safe Money.
Yeah, correct.
So, and after your project, you guys are going to be putting out another record?
We're going to be trying to get another record together. Sure, this year coming out.
And that's a definitely different thing than what you're doing on your record.
Correct, yeah. My Safe Money is an entire different animal. And that's what I want it to be.
Different from Kate Carter, too.
I don't want, we don't want it to be a TINO and K Carter album. We want it to be Safe Money. So when you see Safe Money, you're seeing something different than when you come to see K Carter by himself or TINO by himself. Or TINO, if TINO is playing a show with K Carter, it won't be the same as if you see Safe Money.
Yeah, I know, like K Carter, he's been doing this underground hip hop for years here in the Dayton area.
Yeah.
And like when he came up with you and that Safe Money, like, what is this? But it's got a little, it's got a little bop to it. Like, it's got a little swing. It's like, it was almost like, is it? Would you even call it a rap? Would you even call it hip hop, or is it more like version towards something else?
I would still call it. Very much hip hop.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we're trying not to corner ourselves into having to do one similar thing.
True.
So the next album may not sound anything like the first album sounded. Actually, I know for a fact, because we've been working on it, it's not going to sound like Mimosas, and it's not going to sound like Opulence. It's going to be a different sound. But I want you... I feel like that was something that in my earlier career, I feel like I got pigeonholed into being a positive rapper thing. So I didn't want to be
as an artist.
I didn't want to run that same run into those same trappings. So I wanted to be able to expand before it got to the point where people are like they expect a certain thing from you, because I feel like that pigeonholes you. And then again, if you prep your fans for a certain thing, and they are not preconditioned to expect a certain thing.
And you can see other artists have the trajectory of their careers. Like LL has expanded into other stuff, you know. I mean, so you can do that, and from a rap's point, we know you can do it like pop, on R&B, rock music.
Well, people do it all the time. I think sometimes I think people get afraid of not putting out the same formulaic thing because they're afraid of losing what it is that they had. But I don't put that into play when it comes to the music that I make, because it's like, I'm always going to give you something genuine. That's going to be the common thread between these things. It may not sound exactly like my first project did, or what Never Worry About Tomorrow sounds like. Like, you will always hear that commonality of genuosity. Well, that's not even a word. I'm about to say genuosity.
He was making up words here. This must be trending of a new word. Like you've done projects
authenticity
with
is what I'm saying.
authenticity. Paige Beller, and then is it Moira?
Moira.
They're a very unique and mysterious group.
They do dream pop, and they're so good as musicians.
I was digging both of those tracks. Paige has a really great album out. I'm waiting for Moira to come out with their album.
And they have a couple projects on. They got 2 EPs on Spotify and whatnot. That's Miora, Moira. M-O-I-R-A. That's it.
Right. That's what flips me up with the title.
And they are like some of the best musicians.
And that's Dayton. That's a Dayton group. Yeah, Dayton has some. I mean, it's the Lando Funk,
and
man.
Same thing with Paige. Paige was actually the first person to ever give me a gig was Paige.
Nice.
Paige stuck $40 in my pocket to open for her at One Eye Jack's back in 2011.
Yeah, I think I first saw you at One Eye Jack's, and then down at Blind Bob's. But yeah, Paige is gonna come up. She got a great album out right now too. Didn't you work with like a rock group? Like,
I've done stuff with like Night Beast.
Okay.
I did a song with them. It's Nasty Boys, which was on their vinyl that they put out.
Okay.
It's also on Spotify. I've done, like, for the most part, I get a lot of features outside of hip hop.
Huh. Okay.
I did a song with Lisa Gaines called Run, and that was a folk pop song.
Okay.
I did the more hardcore song with Night Beast.
Okay.
I did the dream pop song with Moira. I've done a song with Mike Bankhead, and that was more. It was more traditional rock, I would say. Okay. With them, and I do some features with other hip hop. Like, I don't want people to take this the wrong way. I don't think a lot of rappers want to rap with me for some reason. I'm not going to say it's intimidation or anything like that, but I just put out a song with my man Pseudo. It's called Chat, and it's like, it's I haven't heard that one. Okay. That I've done before. Okay. It's really, we go back and forth. I do 8, or he does 16. I do 16. He does 16. I do 16. Then we go 8, 8, 4, 4, 2, 2, and it's like just me and him back and forth.
So you're open to collabs.
I
you're
love
open.
collaborations.
Okay, okay.
As long as it's something I vibe to,
all right.
I'm down to do it. Like,
down to do it.
I don't want to force anything and have it come across as being generic. Like,
you got to come together, vibes and everything.
I had a guy reach out to me who's a producer in California, and he was offering me money to do a song, and I was like, well, let me listen to the beats first, because I don't want to ever say that I was just doing it for the money. So
right.
he sent me some production. I found something I liked.
Boom.
He sent me a down payment, so I was like, "Oh wow, I'm really rapping now."
I saw you on E-Man and K Carter. Was you rapping on that? You wasn't rapping on that, were you? You were just hanging out with that one.
I just was hanging out.
Yeah, you're in the video. Yeah. I was like, why is he not rapping? I see him back there bobbing his head.
Blam was hanging out there too.
Right.
A couple other MCs. It just was. It was a show of love because, like, I got nothing but love for the city of Dayton. And
right. Good.
The MCs within it.
Yeah.
Like, shout out to Sleeko. Shout out to Flam Fever or Lamborghini. You know, go by Flam Fever.
Oh, we changed his name.
I don't want to disrespect. Shout out to K Carter, E-Man Jones, all of the homies that have been doing it for a long time. Twani, Indian. Like, it's just a lot of.
There's a big list from the Gym City.
It's a lot of people really out here putting in work, and I respect it and admire it. I try and show up and show love wherever I can.
Okay.
As long as you're doing something positive and you're trying to.
There you go.
Trying to better your situation and
there you go.
people's situation. That's all
positive over negative. Yeah, we've been going. So I do appreciate you taking the time out. We finally got this together.
My apologies for being.
I mean,
as long as it has.
We got COVID. We got the winter's been like, snow's been up to 8 inches or something. I mean, it's been nuts. So 2022, we're gonna get it on. We're gonna get it going, cracking. Local love 91.3 with my boy 3J the DJ, where we're playing some of the songs from the album, so you can check out TINO. And we're gonna have it live, not live. This is the live one. We're gonna have it on the Lando Funk podcast from yours truly, the CJX. Thank you again, my man.
Appreciate you, Chris.
All right.